Okay, so today we're going to talk about solving equations by multiplying or dividing. So put that at the top of your paper with today's date in the top right corner. It's very similar to the other lesson, solving equations by adding or subtracting. We're still doing the inverse, but now we're going to multiply or divide instead of add or subtract. So, solving equations by dividing. For number 1, we have 8x equals 32. This is multiplication here. 8 times x equals 32. We need to undo this. So I'm going to put it lined on the equal sign, separate left side, right side. So if this is 8 times x, we need to undo that multiplication. We need to do the inverse of multiplication, which is division. So let's divide by 8 on both sides. So 8 divided by 8 is just 1x, which means that 1 times x, so that's just x, right? 1 times x is the same as x. So we're going to have x equals 32 divided by 8 is 4. So we have x equals 4. Now, we can put that back in, that x equals 4. We could put it right in there, 8 times 4, and see if it works. And 8 times 4 is 32, so it does work. Let's try number 2. Negative 7y equals negative 91. Well, negative 7 is being multiplied by y, so we need to undo that multiplication. We do that by dividing. So we're going to divide by negative 7 on both sides. Negative 7 divided by negative 7 is 1, so we're just left with 1y, or y. And here, negative 91 divided by negative 7, well, negative divided by negative is a positive, so it's going to be positive 13. Try these two on your own. Okay, welcome back. Here for number 3, we have 48 equals 6x. Since it's 6 times x, we're going to divide by 6 on both sides. So x equals, 6 divided by 6 is just 1x, so we're just left with x. 48 divided by 6 is 8, so x equals 8. For number 4, we have negative 9y equals positive 45. So we're going to divide by negative 9, since we're going to undo that multiplication. And since we do it on one side of the equation, we have to do it on the other. So negative 9 divided by negative 9, we're just left with y equals negative 5, because it's a 45 divided by a negative 9. Now, these equations are division, so we're going to need to multiply to undo them. So, for number 5 here, we have h divided by negative 3 equals 6. So, to get rid of that division, we need to multiply. Because if we have divided by negative 3 times negative 3, that cancels. We're just left with h. Here, since we multiplied by negative 3 on the left side, we have to do the same thing on the right side. And 6 times negative 3 is negative 18. And if we would plug that back into the original, negative 18 divided by negative 3 equals 6. Well, negative 18 divided by negative 3 does equal 6. So we're happy. Try number 6 on your own. Okay, welcome back. So for number 6, we have b divided by negative 4 equals negative 5. We need to undo that division, and to undo division, you multiply. So we're going to multiply by negative 4 on both sides. Remember, whatever you do to one side of the equation, you have to do to the other. So these cancel. We're just left with b. And here we have negative 5 times negative 4, which is positive 20. And if we plug that back in, 20 divided by negative 4 equals negative 5. So we're happy. Now here we have two-step equations. So we have to do two things. The first thing you always do is the addition or subtraction, because it's basically the opposite of order of operations. In order of operations, parentheses, exponents, multiplication, division, addition, subtraction. To undo that, we go backwards. So instead of doing multiplication and division first, we're going to do addition and subtraction. So here, we're going to do minus 1 on both sides. So that gets rid of that plus 1. So we have 2x equals negative 8, because remember that negative 7 minus 1, keep, change, opposite. Negative 7 plus negative 1 is negative 8. Now, we have 2x equals negative 8. So that's 2 times x. So we're going to divide by 2, so x equals negative 4. And if we plug that back in here, 2 times negative 4 plus 1, 2 times negative 4 is negative 8, plus 1 is negative 7. So we're good. Okay, so try number 8 on your own. First, we're going to subtract 2 from both sides. So that gets rid of that. So we just have a 3x. And over here, 14 minus 2 is 12. So we have 3x equals 12. That's 3 times x. So we're going to divide by 3 on both sides. And we have x equals 4. And if we put that back in up top, 3 times 4 plus 2. Well, 3 times 4 is 12. Plus 2 is 14. So we're happy. Remember, isolate the variable, do the inverse.